So I can't wait for tonight. I can't wait for the Packers and Eagles tonight. Now, you mentioned the illegal formations.
Yep.
I reached out to a source. That's it, because I said A before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you can't say A sources, then we sound like doofuses.
We would have made it work.
Correct. That's why we didn't go with it.
I reached out to source says at the NFL office about the illegal formations. I said, I'm about sick of this. We all are. Okay, this is not what we're tuning into this game for. I understand it was a conversation last year, but we had not heard about this all offseason. In the internet, everybody was like, come on. Let's play a little football. So I sent a text to source
says
in the NFL office, and I say, illegal formation, point of emphasis, obviously, and how long does this last? How long does this last? Basically got this response back. General emphasis is to clean up the line of scrimmage early here, so we don't have to deal with this all season, because remember last year it lingered all year, like the conversation. General, and I guess teams have been informed that this is going to be the case. The ones that were called were only supposed to be egregious ones as a point of emphasis, but then there was a lot of people that are saying, well, they won't call it on the Chiefs. Is that because Taylor Swift was there? And they're just like setting themselves up, I think, for any point of emphasis to be kind of handled that way by the crowd reaction. But I think we should all understand from the message that I got that this is not just like a ticky-tack call they're going to do all year, because literally if you're looking for it, you could probably call it every single time and people would be understanding, because getting off on the snap of the ball by a tackle is a skill that is worked, a trait that is studied, and it is like a weapon. But I think they're just trying not to make it linger all year like it did last year with people getting upset about the fairness and the unfairness. And obviously last night's already started, but I think that is a point of emphasis, and I think it's just going to be something that they are trying to kind of sort out now so I don't have to deal with it all year, AJ.
Well, I think, too, they mentioned on the broadcast, like, it felt like they were trying to send a message to the 30 other teams that are watching this game, like, hey, this is a thing. We're going to cut this off right now. We don't want this to linger, like you said, throughout the season. But you're right. They didn't call any on the Chiefs. I guess they didn't really seem egregious. All of them didn't seem egregious, but they also don't do a great job, I think, of explaining exactly what the rule is. Like, technically, there you go, protect
Smart,
yourself. Protect the temple.
You move.
There we go.
Sun is strong.
You get it right in your eyeballs?
There was supposed to be no sun. I read the Dolphins like goddamn DiNardo last night. We didn't even know if we are going to be able to do it out here because potential lightning striking, and we knew there was potential to be overcast. We got some of the brightest sun I've ever seen popping through some of these clouds. Now, we got some dark, doomy clouds up here in the great state of Michigan that are rolling through, but it was supposed to be overcast. It was supposed to be 62. Look at this. I got a black button down on. Black button.
Uh-oh.
Looks like there's a nice breeze rolling in.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little windy. I don't know what that means. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of workers here trying to set up the big house for the big game tomorrow, but I can't be getting 30-degree burns here week 3 of this entire season like I did at Alabama last year. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Man.
Yeah.
They're vicious.
That was bad. I think it's going to happen. Obviously, my skin cooks quickly, both from the inside and the outside. That's part of being from the Caucasus Mountains. But whenever you talk about great venue, this place has been so incredibly hospitable. Now, let's get back to it. You're 100% right, though. It did feel like it's a message, which is the point of emphasis every single year, especially in primetime games. Remember when it was helmet-to-helmet shit? Yep. It was like they were calling it like everything the first
couple
couple
on the
weeks.
Quarterback, too. Remember when they implemented, you can't land any weight on the quarterback? It was like, how are we supposed to tackle this guy? Now, guys have adjusted. Now, we can adjust alignments for sure, but every single offensive line right now today in their walkthrough, that's all they're talking about. Say, get on the line of scrimmage. Your head needs to break like the belt line of the center, which a lot of people, I don't think that makes sense to most people. Do you know how to explain that?
Yeah, so it's basically, it's on special teams too. This is this is a big deal for special teams, for field goal units and for punt teams. Basically, end tackle, whatever it is, third person out from center, guard, third person out is always trying to steal space, right? Because space gives you more time. But the part of your body, and I think it's supposed to be your head because of the way you're positioned, is supposed to cut the ass of the center. Has to be able to cut the ass of the center, I do believe, is the entire goal, which is why I think Coach Dan Casey put this out, and then Ari obviously put it out as well, which is why they're drawing it from the ass, not from the ball. So if you have a 6'8" center, not that Linderbaum is, they got a guard that is that, who has a long torso and is able to extend from the ball, you got quite an advantage out there at tackle. But if it's a standard upper-bodied human bent over at center, they're trying to make it more straight so it's not as bowing. But every tackle, every end is going to try to get space since the beginning of time. That's kind of what it is. And it feels like the NFL is like, all right, we've gone too far now. We're not jumping early. We got to at least be up across near the line of scrimmage, and then we'll keep it moving. There's going to be some tackles. I don't know
Your feet can
I
stay
don't
in
know.
the same spot. Like your feet, like Stanley's feet could have been there, but if he could somehow lean his head,
Well, that's what
forward,
Juwan Taylor does.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
That's what I mean. That's the whole thing. You're practicing your stance.
Like
when you're a
Stanley's
tackler,
got it. Stanley was straight up and down.
He just needs
and then
to-
Juwan Taylor was leaned forward with his head.
And
they were in the
leaving
same
early.
exact spot.
Which is crazy because your feet can be the same spot, but your head has to cross their belt line. That's a big deal. Like I wonder if sack number is going to be up because of this.
Yeah, I think so, especially whenever you talk about like away games and crowd and everything, because that's where it's a big deal. But they got to do that no allows lean
You got
when
it.
he won
Correct.
before COVID. Before COVID.
Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
COVID killed him.
No. Yeah, the no allows lean. So maybe that's a new tactic. Hey, need you to be off balance on your toes. If we want to win, you got to throw everything aside that you've learned from a technical standpoint about being offensive line. But they'll game it somehow. They'll figure it out. And I think the NFL knows that nobody's watching that game last night to watch illegal formations get pulled on tackles. You know,